This is Matt, and these are the metal vinyl releases for April 2022. Starting with April 1st, we'll get the second EP from Dutch hard rock band Cobra Spell. This is Anthems of the Night, to be self-released. For those not in the know, Cobra Spell is the traditional metal / hard rock band that includes Sonia Anubis. She's the guitar player for Crypta, though this is totally not Crypta, just to point that out. Totally different music, but her fans, particularly fans of her guitar work, might be interested in this release, maybe. A vinyl variant for this one will be black at 300 copies and silver also at 300 copies. Also, I would highly suggest checking out their music video for the EP's title track to get a good idea what they sound like. You can find it at the Cobra Spell YouTube channel. Again, very different music from Crypta, just to keep that in mind. I really enjoy what I've heard from this band and ended up pre-ordering the EP already, so we'll be talking about this one in a future episode of Vinyl Haul. Also on April 1st, look out for the third studio album from Belgian traditional metal band Evil Invaders. This is Shattering Reflection, to be released by Napalm Records. Vinyl variants are black in an unspecified number of copies, as well as blue-black marble, limited to 300 copies. The black variant will also be available at Nuclear Blast Germany's website, if that works better for you. 2 music videos have been released so far, one being In Deepest Black, the other being Sledgehammer Justice. Both of those can be found at the official Napalm Records YouTube channel. Of the two, definitely check out Sledgehammer Justice. I feel it's the stronger of the 2 tracks. And for those viewers with excellent memory, I did pick up and discuss their self-titled EP that came out in 2017 and had a lot of favorable things to say about that. So given that and the 2 available tracks from this EP, it seems like this will be a strong release from the band, so I'll likely be getting this one. Also on April 1st, expect the 6th studio album from British metal band Satan. This is Earth Infernal, to be released by Metal Blade Records. Quite a number of vinyl variants for this title at the US Metal Blade store. There is Firefly Glow vinyl in an unspecified number of copies. Through the label's UK store, there are 5 variants: clear slate gray marbled at 200 copies, copper brown marbled at 300 copies, orange red brown marbled at 500 copies, light yellow marbled at 700 copies, and also the unspecified number of 180 gram black vinyl copies. The UK store also has record and t-shirt bundles available if interested. If you've got a Bandcamp account, however, there is also a variant specific to them, namely a dark goldenrod marbled version limited to 200 copies. And there's also going to be a special edition of this title, which will include the album in light gray marbled, as well as a poster, a download card, a slip mat, a patch, and a sticker. This particular edition will be limited to 666 copies. As for music videos, there is one for the track Burning Portrait. It really does have that classic sound from them, and I was definitely digging it. So this video is decent, and I'd like to hear more from this album before considering the purchase, but I wouldn't be surprised if I end up liking this one when it comes out, so maybe you will too. And also on April 1st will be the 9th studio album from Swedish metal band Meshuggah. This is Immutable, to be released by Atomic Fire. Many vinyl variants for this 2 LP release, some of which overlap between sellers. For the US, there will be pink and blue vinyl, as well as black vinyl. Over at the European store for the label, there will be white, yellow, orange marbled, clear and black marbled, and transparent red. There will also be a Scandinavian edition in green, yellow, and white marbled. And over at the Eyesore merch store in the UK, there will be an additional variant, more than one actually, such as the red, white, black vinyl, clear red and black vinyl, and a white vinyl variant. No release numbers available for any of these variants at this time. There is a music video for the track The Abysmal Eye, which can be found at the Meshuggah YouTube channel. Incredibly well-produced video, and the track is fairly decent, so definitely check that one out. The track is enjoyable. I'm not sure if I'm going to get this one, though. Maybe if I hear more of it. Who knows? Moving on to April 8th, we'll have the 15th studio album from German thrash band Destruction. This is Diabolical, to be released by Napalm Records. Vinyl variants will include black in wide release. Also, Napalm's US site will be selling it in yellow and red marble, limited to 300 copies. Napalm's European store will additionally be selling it in red vinyl, limited to 300 copies. And Vision merch will be having it in clear vinyl, also limited to 300 copies. 3 music videos are out there so far from this record, the title track, as well as No Faith in Humanity and State of Apathy, all of which available at the Napalm Records YouTube channel. Of the 3, I would definitely recommend Diabolical first, then on to No Faith in Humanity. Both are pretty strong tracks. I would definitely check both of those out. It's fair to say that I've already pre-ordered this one some weeks back, and I'm definitely into this band and have been since the 1980s. Yeah, not a difficult choice for me to make here. Sounds like it's going to be killer. Moving on to April 15th, we'll see 3 reissues of classic Armored Saint albums, all of which from Metal Blade Records. Starting with their 1984 debut album, March of the Saint, US vinyl variants will be blue smoke vinyl as well as blue vinyl. European variants will be pastel blue vinyl at 200 copies, sunset orange marbled vinyl at 300 copies, silver vinyl at 800 copies, and 180-gram black vinyl in an unspecified number of copies. Next up is their 1985 follow-up album, Delirious Nomad. US vinyl variants will be white and black marbled vinyl as well as yellow vinyl. European variants will be orange, red, brown vinyl at 200 copies, slate gray vinyl at 300 copies, sunbright yellow vinyl at 300 copies, clear light salmon vinyl at 800 copies, and 180-gram black vinyl in an unspecified number of copies. And finally, 1987's Raising Fear, their 3rd album, to be reissued in the US in yellow and orange marbled vinyl as well as red vinyl, and in Europe on violet vinyl, 200 copies, clear steel blue vinyl at 300 copies, blackberry vinyl at 300 copies, fiery orange vinyl at 800 copies, and yes, 180-gram black vinyl in an unspecified number of copies. The European Metal Blade site also has album and t-shirt bundles if you're interested in that. So I already have an OG of March of the Saint, and I'm not really interested in Delirious Nomad, but that reissue Raising Fear is tempting. We'll see. And also on April 15th, expect the 21st studio album from German metal guitarist Axel Rudi Pell. This is Lost 23, to be released by Steamhammer SPV. So in case you don't know, Pell was the guitarist for the German version of Steeler, not the LA band, from the 1980s. Since that, he's had a rather prolific solo career, which would explain the 21 solo albums. Vinyl variant for the US will be 2 LP black and white splatter at 200 copies. There's also a classic black in wide release. European variant will be 2 LP red-black split, limited to 2,000 copies worldwide. Also for the European market, there will be a deluxe box set of this title, which will include an exclusive 2 LP red-black ink spot vinyl variant, a digipack CD with a bonus track, a high-quality art print, an A1 double-sided poster, a photo card, and a sticker. The box set variant will be limited to 1,000 copies. All vinyl variants come in a gatefold jacket and with printed inner sleeves. And if you're looking for tracks from this one, there is a lyric video available for the song Survive, which can be found at the SPV Entertainment YouTube channel. So the track is somewhere between hard rock and power metal, which really isn't my thing, but I can definitely hear where some of my viewers might dig this record, so check it out if interested. Moving on to April 22nd, look out for the debut solo EP from Metallica guitarist Kirk Hammett. This is Portals, to be released by Blackened Recordings. According to Hammett, this 4-song, all-instrumental EP is influenced by classical music, soundtracks, horror movies, and some Ennio Morricone. Vinyl variant for this one will be Ocean Blue, available on release date at Metallica.com, and the very next day through participating Record Store Day stores. It'll also be available at various indie record stores also that day, so you might not have to wait in line for it. Release numbers are kind of all over the place for this one. Some claim 6,500, some claim 13,200, but since this is a member of one of the biggest metal bands on the planet, I'm sure there'll be plenty of copies for everyone. Can't imagine it being otherwise. It's still not entirely clear, though, how much metal this EP is going to be, but I'm really into a lot of what Hammett claims as inspirations for this album, this EP rather, so I'm curious about its release, and I'll probably get it. As for you more sensible people out there who want to hear things first, you probably should do that before you pick this one up. Definitely. Also on April 22nd, we'll get the 4th studio album from Canadian speed metal band Skullfist. This is Paid in Full, to be released by Atomic Fire. Number of vinyl variants will be available for this one depending on where you buy it. The North American variants will be orange, red, black at 500 copies, as well as black, white vinyl at 1,000 copies. The European variant will be orange, black, marbled, limited to 1,000 copies. And the Skullfist merch store will have it in black vinyl, limited to 800 copies, as well as blue vinyl, limited to 200 copies. A music video exists for the track Long Live the Fist. Check that one out at the Skullfist YouTube channel. So a number of people in the YouTube metal community have talked about this band quite a bit, to the point where I probably can't ignore them any longer. So I should pull the trigger on this one. Looks to be the album I should get. So yeah, kind of shreds too. Moving on to April 29th, expect the 8th studio album from German industrial metal band Rammstein. This is Zeit, to be released by Universal Music Group. Vinyl variants will include 2 LP clear as well as classic black. Also an Amazon exclusive 2 LP blue marbled version. All versions come in a gatefold jacket with gold embossed logo and a large format 20-page booklet. There is a video for the title track available at the Ramstein official YouTube channel. Definitely not safe for work, but certainly very well made. You should probably check it out. There are also a plethora of YouTubers out there offering up their interpretation of the track and the video specifically, some of which are fairly amusing, so you should seek those out as well, if that's something you do. The title track is somewhat compelling, but it's been a long time since I've heard Rammstein, or even bought a Rammstein album, so I need to hear more of this before I decide on it. But it does sound pretty interesting. Also on April 29th, we'll see the 7th studio album from Swedish black metal band Watain. This is The Agony and Ecstasy of Watain, to be released by Nuclear Blast Records. Vinyl variants will be pink vinyl, green marbled vinyl, red with rainbow splatter, green with rainbow splatter, and black vinyl. Of these variants, only the green marbled has press numbers at this point, which will be 300 copies. If you want to check some tracks out, there is a music video for The Howling, as well as a lyric video for Saramosa, both of which can be found at the Nuclear Blast YouTube channel. Of the 2 tracks, I do lean more towards The Howling, which I actually enjoyed. So I do have one Watain album in my collection, though I don't listen to it much. Not a big black metal fan, as many know. But I might check more into this release. If you're a fan, you probably don't need me to tell you to get this one. You probably should. And of course, if I missed any releases for this month, and it's likely that I missed a whole bunch of them, all of you fine people out there will probably let me know. You should do that in the comments. Also, future releases, let me know about those as well. Give me the album name, the artist name, and the date it's coming out. Leave all of that and anything else relevant in the comments below. Of course, if you're feeling generous or you just like pushing buttons, definitely give me one of these. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Yep, that's another button to push. And of course, share this video with some friends, which involves more than a button probably. Super appreciate any of the support you could give me. Of course, I don't just do metal vinyl releases here at the Accusation Network. I do a whole lot of other types of videos in and around metal vinyl collecting. Let's do videos on classic and modern metal bands in general. If that interests you, definitely check out my playlist, check out all the shows, and go nuts. And as always, thank you for watching, and check back next month for even more metal vinyl releases.